Hello again, folks, and welcome. Let's just get me head down there. Welcome to another restoration video. This was picked up today by a friend of mine for me. He found this in a charity shop. It cost me the princely sum of 20 of my hard-earned pounds, and it's a nice looking little chap. It's a Dansette. It's a Dansette Popular portable record player from the late 1950s. Now let's undo the lid. It's still got what look like the original knobs with little little brass Chinese hats in them. And well, look at that. It's got the Dansette Popular label, British made, in the lid, and the case itself is in overall good condition. I haven't plugged this in, and I'm not going to plug it in because it's got screws missing, and there's a socket on the back which I'm not quite sure what that's for yet, but we'll find out. But somebody has put a socket on because these didn't come with sockets on them on the back. Right, we've got look at that old plug. Look at this, folks. Look at that, a really old. I bet that plug was put on there when this was made. That's a lovely old plug. We've got the brown tone arm, which has got the BSR orange full fire cartridge in, which was I believe was a high output cartridge, because this is technically what's known as a one valve wonder. Although it does have two valves, it has a rectifier and it has an audio output pentode, but the rectifier only makes DC. The audio output is the valve that does the audio work. Now, looking at the looking at the case, there's a few things here that do need to be addressed. The little sponge that goes there, that's fell off, so we'll put that there out of the way for now. The turntable mat has been glued on and it's gone rock hard, so we'll have to sort something out with that. The speed controller is actually broken, so we're going to have to try and get that off, and yeah, I don't know how I'm going to tackle that, but we'll have to get that off somehow and find a way of repairing that, but not for now. Now, if I turn it round, I've not been in this yet, but there's a screw missing from here, one from here, one from here, one from here, and one from here. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws missing. I'll find some with nice brass washers to put in there. This is it's a lovely little fella, I think, and the cabinet itself is actually in nice condition. Now what we're going to do now, we're going to pull the knobs off, because you have to pull the knobs off these, and do it carefully because these are very old record player parts and we don't want to damage them. I'll put the knobs up there on top of my scope out of the way, they'll be cleaned up. Put the speed controller knob, what's left of it, up there. I might have to put a new knob on that. And the trim for the speed is actually cracked. The mechanism used in this is actually a BSR, but I'll tell you why I know it's a 50s BSR, because of the colours. Because when they got to the 60s, they changed the colours to like blues and greens and blacks and that kind of thing. And they're scraps. Hello, son. Come here. Come say hello to me. There you go. Yeah. You want to give me a hand to do this record player? Hey? Yeah. Because have you trumped? Oh. You have, haven't you? You've appled. Anyway, let's lift the skirt on this and see what we've got. See, the screws are all missing, and simply, simply you just lift the chassis and you lift the motor board out rather. Let's just do something about this tone arm. I've got no sellotape. I've got no tape. I'm going to have to find some way of keeping that arm from flopping about where I do not want to break the tone arm. Right, we've got a wax capacitor there which is leaked. That's got to be replaced. We've got a... Where's my glasses? Where's my glasses? Scraps, you were in charge of the glasses. What did you do with the glasses? Oh, there they are. Mind a minute, son. Move, 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 move. Go on, move. Let me up. Right. Now, and we've got an EMI speaker in this. We've got a Dubilia smoothing capacitor. Some people call it a filter. And look at this. Can you see this, ladies and gentlemen? Look. Somebody has put a capacitor in here. Now I don't see what the point of that is. They've put a, what is it? It's a 350 volts DC. 0.1 microfarad. Yeah, and it goes to that socket at the back, and these two wires here, I'll bet as much as you want, they're coming from the output transformer, which is there. And let's turn this round so we can have a better look. There we go, you can see the chassis now. Oh, there we are, the centre spindle, that's a 45 RPM adapter. Even that's got made in England on it, but it's a BSR unit. Oops. And there's a big resistor there. That'll be the surge limiter. I'm just trying to find out what the valve complement is without taking the valves out. Ooh. And everything's falling everywhere, and I'm not happy. And oh, look at that, the turntable's come off. There we go, take the turntable off. Didn't obviously use a clip that needs lubricating. That's a bit sick. I'll have to try and get some grease from my friend. This mechanism's all going to be, ooh, and that spring's a mess. That'll have to be changed. I've got a new one that'll do the job. And I'll put a new spring on there. Oh, pardon me. Sort of gives you an old, sort of gives you a faint whiff of old fart. This. I'm going to take that arm off because it's going to get broke. So that arm will have to. There was actually provision on here for a retaining clip, but obviously it's gone missing at some point. And now the speaker has been disconnected. The speaker's here, and the terminals for it have been disconnected. So the first test, the first port of call is to actually test the speaker, because there might have been a reason why that speaker was disconnected, because it might be knackered. So we'll put that on ohms. We'll just test the speaker. Two ohms. Right, 2 ohms. I'd have to say it's 4 ohms. I'd have to say it's the 3 ohm speaker. I'm just trying to get a crackle out of the speaker. I'm not getting a crackle out of the speaker. I want to find out. Let's put this on continuity. Oh, I'll tell you what normally does do it. Let's put on diode. Yeah, I'm getting a faint crackle And that speaker went on ohms though, but hang on. Right, well we're getting just under 3 ohms from it, and we are getting a faint crackle. I'll put the meter over there for now, don't need that just yet. Now what I want to do, I want to look at the valves. That's a UY, I suspect that that's rectifiers, a UY85 it is, and the audio output is a UL84, which I suspected. Now, I'm not happy with the arrangement that somebody has taken it upon themselves to put an output on this that it shouldn't have. So what we're going to do here, what I'm going to do here, folks, I'm going to there we go. What I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to replace, I'm going to actually solder and I bet they've just been joined together. Look at that. Hey, look at that, hey folks. I'll tell you what, good quality shit that, innit? You know, good quality craftsmanship that. You know, somebody, I don't know where my wire cutters are. I knew where they were this morning. I used them to repair the clutch cable on my motorbike. There's a pair of pliers there, they might have a wire cutting blade. I was repairing a drawer here. I've got all sorts of shit, but you know, there's a pair of pliers. Well, they've got a wire cutting blade in them. So what we'll do, we'll cut that off there, because that doesn't belong in there. And look at this here. Look at that. Sellotape. And another wire. Just some people, there's my wire cutters now, don't need them. Leave them there because they're probably going to be needed at some point. Now some people just don't have a bloody clue. Pardon my French, folks, but some people just do not have a clue when it comes to safety. I'm trying to find my roller solder. I've got one here, but it's a bit too thin. It's a bit thin now. I want the thicker one. Because this was made using leaded solder, and I want to stick to using leaded solder. But I can't seem to see my bloody bobbin of solder. I don't know where it's gone. It was on here a minute ago. And I won't mind, it's a bloody bobbin that big. Right, let's find it. Let's get this. There it is. I always find if I just move things about, the situation presents itself. Solution, sorry, presents itself. I'm just gonna I've just run over my bloody foot with a wheel on the chair. Ow! Bloody hell! Right, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to tin these. Some nice new solder on the wires. Let's get that wire out of there. Don't want that anywhere near. We'll get them wires out that are knackered in a minute. Right, them horrible wires can come out in a minute. Right. There we go. Now on this, now we don't want it, I don't want the speaker wire going around the goddamn valves. Right. I might have to put new speaker wires in this. I suppose, folks, just for testing, because it is going to be redone anyway, so I suppose for testing it doesn't really matter. Just put, oops, for testing it doesn't really matter, because I've just melted that with a bloody soldering iron. I'll have to sort that out in a minute. Right. There we go. Just melted it slightly, I've not melted through it. Right, let's get them out of the wires out of the way. Now, I just need to... See, I'm going to be putting new wires in anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But then wires from the motor, I mean really, these wires have been shortened, sure they have. That's one on. Now let's connect the other one on. The other one's a bit easier. But somebody somewhere thought it'd be a great idea to put an external speaker jack on this thing. It ain't supposed to have one. I hate it when people take it upon themselves to modify something and not do the job, and you know, modify something that shouldn't be modified. I mean, if there was supposed to be an extra speaker socket on, the manufacturers would have fitted it. It's not supposed to have an extra socket. It's supposed to have no sockets on this. So I'll have to do something about that. But right, I'm not happy with all this wiring. Right, what I'm going to do for now, put some, get me tape. I will use proper heat shrink on this when it comes to, when it actually comes to doing the wiring. Now, I don't even know if this motor works, not got a clue, I ain't plugged it in, ain't looked at it. All I've done is what you see me do. Right, and that side there's okay, just to be certain. Just put a bit of tape around it. I mean, that was me with the iron. But it's no problem that. I will do a nice job on that eventually. I'll heat shrink that. Now what I want to do is, I'm not going to remove the, oops, where's the arm? There it is. Right. I'm not going to remove that socket yet. Remove that at a later date. But I'll save that because it's one of the old style sockets and they're pretty decent. So I'll save that. Just snip this horrible, there we go, look, it's been amputated. The horrible stuff has been removed. That wax capacitor there is knackered, it's got gunge coming out of it. What is that? Doesn't say, it was probably, oops, let's just get the arm. I'm going to take the tone arm off this at some point. Now basically, we're not on properly. We are now. Right. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the on-off switch on. Now, let's take a chance. Plug in. Turn it on, see what it does. Well, the motor's running. See if we get any action at the amplifier. We're getting crackle in the speaker. There's a bit of action in the cartridge there, folks. Let's pull the red wire off the cartridge and get a bit of solder and see if we get a buzz. Some people wet their finger to do this. Oh! Well, we're getting plenty of action at the amplifier there, folks. So I would say that the amplifier in this is actually working. That's a result. I will do some work. I will do some preventative maintenance, so like replace capacitors, and the volume works. It's crackly, but it works. I have to get some switch cleaner. And apart from that volume hum, there is no filter hum on this. There's no filter smoothing hum, no mains hum on this, absolutely whatsoever. This has got a nice, what do you call it there? What's that? Don't know what that is. Piece of metal. Right, well, so far, folks, apart from that, and the fact that the cartridge is dead, yeah, the cartridge is dead, but I'll show you how to rebuild that cartridge at a later date. Right, I'm going to call this the assessment of the Dansette Popular portable record player from the late 1950s. I'd say 57 to 59, I'd say. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong and anybody knows better than me, then tell me. But it's definitely 1950s because of the colour scheme. This colour scheme was dropped in the 60s. And probably about 1960 was dropped, I think. But if anybody knows better than me, then please let me know. But I need to work out how to sort this switch out. But I'm going to work on that next. And probably going to use Gorilla Glue. I'm going to have to work out to see if I can get this remains of this one off in one piece. I don't think I'm going to be able to, you know. But that's been put on there, and let's just try and turn this, because I've got a feeling that the whole lot turns, which it does, yeah. So basically, and it's all breaking inside there. So I've got a feeling that if I get me wire cutters under there, it's got to come off. That's got to come off. There's no way I can leave that on, because you see, we've got to come off and have the switch replaced. or have it repaired, one of the two. And there's a little bit of cracking in the there's a bit of a crack in the trim here as well, which there's not really a lot I can do about it. I mean, this little record player's had a hard life, and I need to put some grease in that. Well, that's got to be done. I've got some somewhere. That's got to be done. Got to put a new spring on there, which I've got somewhere. I've got a spring that'll do that. And that spring, if I'm right in thinking, doesn't go there where it's been hooked. I'm sure it doesn't. I'm pretty sure that look at that. Somebody's made a right codge up there, and look at that. You tied on, look at this. A piece of string. Look at it, a little piece of string. That spring went through that hole there. I'm sure it did. I'm sure that spring goes through that hole. Now, let's turn this to on. Pull that across there, line that over that hole. Yeah, that spring goes through that hole there. You can't see that hole, folks, but that's where that spring goes. I'll tell you that now. But I'll have to get my little poker in her and poke. There's full of grease that hole, so I'll have to get my little poker in her and poke that hole out and redo this spring. I might be able to reuse this spring because apart from the fact that it's too long and it's the wrong spring, and do you know something, that motor's actually quite well lubricated. It will be stripped and redone, but anyway, I'm going to end this video here now, folks, and please feel free to join me in part 2 of this of the restoration of this lovely old record player. And you never know, one day we could be having it playing records again. So just to quickly recap, we've established that the cartridge is dead, the amplifier's working, the speaker's working, the motor's working, the idler goes round, and it's got no bumps in it by the look of it. It needs lubricating. The speed control switch is broken. The on-off switch there actually works. So, and the case needs a good clean. That's a recap on it. And I'm going to leave it there for now, folks. And thank you very much for watching. And more to come later in part 2. Bye for now.